This woman built a cat island. Look, one morning, she found a bag of kittens at her door. It turned out, she was famous for rescuing stray cats. Many people brought stray kittens to her, but there were simply too many cats at home. The living space became too small. For the sake of these cats, she had no choice but to move. 2 days later, she found a much bigger new home for them. It even had a fish pond. Although the rent was expensive, she rented it without hesitation. Then she ordered bamboo and built a fence around the house to keep the cats from getting lost or hurt. In this way, she created a paradise for the cats. After the kittens arrived on this cat island, they instantly fell in love with the open space and started playing freely. This also made the woman very happy. Now she is even more certain that she made the right choice. Do you want a cat island like this? However, not long after, she noticed some of the cats were drinking dirty water. It turned out, the pond had not been cleaned for a long time. The water was dirty and smelly. It was full of wriggling worms. She quickly pulled the cats away, but they kept coming back because they had no other source of water. For the cats' safety, she decided to fix the dirty pond. First, she pumped out all the dirty water. Then she cleared away the trash and scrubbed the sides clean. After that, she spread dirt and rocks on the bottom, then filled it with clean water. The next morning, the water was crystal clear. The cats were already drinking happily, but the girl didn't stop there. She built a small shelter by the pond, so the cats could rest in the shade while drinking. Not only that, she brought 4 clay pots, added filter cotton and small stones, inserted a pipe through the hole, and placed a pump in the water. She made a whole filtration system. Then, she added some small fish to the pond to eat up any worms. Now, the pond water stays clean and clear. The cats love it so much. They always gather around the new water source, playing happily. But she never expected that after she put fish in the pond, it became the cat's favorite place. Every day they lay by the pond, watching the fish. So, the woman decided to give the cats a special gift. She drove 4 wooden posts into the ground, then built a frame on top, and laid wooden boards at the bottom. At this moment, the cats were full of curiosity. They all jumped up to see what she was doing. After she fixed the whole structure, the next step was adding the roof. She added upright pillars to support the roof. By this time, the cats had already moved into their new home, but the house was still not cozy enough. So, she prepared 2 soft mattresses for the cats. Then, she added small window openings around the sides, so the cats could freely go in and out. She even added small steps to make it easier for them to climb up and down. After the roof was finally finished, the cats now had a warm home where they could watch the fish anytime. When winter came, the woman found the cats were all freezing and shaking, so she quickly cleared away the snow. She wanted to build a warm house for the cats. First, she built a wooden frame for the base. Then she added a heated floor panel. Next, she set up the support beams. Since warm air rises, she made the second floor open in the middle, so the warm air could fill the whole house. To make it easier for the cats to reach the second floor, she even added a tiny staircase. Then she brought out thick foam boards, cut little doors for the cats to go in and out, added an insulation layer inside, and put up the walls all around. After she added a straw roof, some cats rushed in right away to try it out, to give them an even better place to stay. She built a 2-story sunroom next to it. She cut a hole in the wall, added another staircase, put soft mats inside, and finally added windows. Just like that, a cozy cat hotel was ready. The cats loved their new home, and all curled up to sleep inside. Now, these cats on this cat island are living a happy and joyful life, like the kind woman before. This man also built a warm home for the stray cats. Look, he has adopted many stray cats, but when he came home, he saw all the cats huddled in one corner. Because it was too cold, they had to stick together to stay warm. He felt really sorry for them, so he decided to build a warm bed. Look, he bought a lot of wood, then screwed the pieces together, shaping it into a bed. He reinforced every wooden board just to make the bed stronger. Then he laid a heating blanket on top and covered it with a soft blanket. Just like that, a super warm bed was ready. All the cats climbed onto it right away. They loved their new cozy bed. Not only that, he also prepared plenty of food for them, so they could eat as much as they wanted to help them exercise. He even built a giant cat treadmill. Now, these stray cats not only have a warm and happy home, but also a loving owner who truly cares for them. Next, this owner also made a warm room for his cats. Look, this cat had always slept with its owner since it was little, but after the owner got married, the cat no longer had a place to sleep, so she decided to buy it a bed, but she got the wrong size and came home with a tiny mini bed. The cat was really upset because it could not fit at all. Only half of its body could lie on it. Then, after checking the size of the mini bed, the cat squeezed itself in. This made the owner laugh a lot, so she quickly bought a bigger bed. She laid out a mattress, then added some decorations. Surprisingly, the cat cat loved it. It stayed on the bed without leaving, just like a real little baby. Seeing this, the owner decided to make a cozy home for the cat. She bought another small bed, added a blanket and a pillow, placed a little sofa next to the bed, then spread a fluffy carpet. Just like that, the cat had its own warm little room. And when the owner set up a snack cabinet, the cat loved the room even more. Would you make a cozy space like this for your cat? Then the owner wanted to build a warm home for the cats too, but he made one big mistake. When he got home, he saw all his cats lining up just to sleep in a cardboard box, so he thought about buying them a cat tree house, but it was way too expensive, so he decided to build one himself. He grabbed a bunch of cardboard barrels, cut round holes into them, then added some foam for decoration to make it look nicer. He even used his cat's fur to make cute little toys and mushrooms, but one cat got really mad because it didn't want to lose its fur. Finally, the giant cat tree was done. The cats couldn't wait to jump into their beds. They started scratching happily, but then the owner realized he counted the cats wrong. One cat didn't have a bed, so it had to sleep on top of the tree. So, the owner bought space capsules for the cats. Now, all the cats sleep inside them. But one day the owner got curious and took one of the pods away. When a cat tried to sleep, it almost fell straight down. That scared it so much, it never dared to sleep there again. So, they all moved to the owner's bed instead. At first, the owner thought it would be fun to sleep with them, but when he fell asleep, all the cats piled on top of him. He could barely breathe, so he had to sleep on the floor. To fix the problem, the owner bought some mini beds and set them up beside his bed. The cats loved them, but at night, when the owner fell asleep, he kept snoring. The noise made it impossible for the cats to rest, and he even let out a silent fart. One cat smelled it and almost threw up. None of them slept well that night, and they all woke up with dark circles. The owner felt so bad. He immediately bought medicine to stop his snoring, but that night, the cats picked up his habit and started snoring too. Now the owner is the one who can't sleep at all. Then, to help the cats sleep better, the owner bought a huge bed, but when he laid it on the floor, all the cats looked confused. They had no idea what the huge mattress was for. Then, one little kitten gathered some courage, quietly walked over, and sat on the mattress. At that moment the man realized maybe the big cats did not like the new mattress, so he quickly brought out a small one and placed it next to it. The kitten immediately curled up and fell asleep. And the funny thing is, the giant mattress meant for the cats ended up becoming the man's own bed. Later, the man bought another huge bed. To everyone's surprise, this time, all the cats slept on it, and they looked very comfortable. But not long after, the owner had to go on a long trip, but he can't take the cats with him, so he filled up a giant tub of food, enough for a whole month. When the kitten stood on it, it looked like standing on top of a mountain, but he was still worried, so he lined up a whole row of bowls, all filled with cat food. Then, he bought a huge litter box and filled it with fresh litter. When the kitten walked in, it looked like walking through a desert. Afraid the cats would get thirsty, he set out several big bowls of water. He even gave each cat its own cozy little bed, playing their favorite cartoons. But when it was time to leave, he found all the cats hiding in his suitcase, like they wanted to go with him, but he had to leave them at home. Whenever he missed them, he checked the cameras and saw the cats waiting by the window, hoping he would come back soon. This really touched him, but when he finally got home, he realized they didn't actually miss him because the litter box was full. They just wanted him to scoop their poop. In the end, he accepted his fate and scooped out 12 full bags, plus one big box. Even so, he missed his cats very much. Every day he lined the cats up, then gave each one a kiss. But one day, he accidentally got drunk and kissed a cat's butt, thinking it was its head. After the kiss, he felt something was off, so he moved on to the next cat. This made all the cats super confused. They had no idea what he was doing. Then it got worse. He pulled out some snacks and tried to feed the cats, but the cats were in total shock. But the real chaos started when he mistook the litter box for a delicious treat and wanted to eating from it. One cat almost threw up on the spot. They were now convinced their human had completely lost it. Then, he told the cats to line up again to give them more kisses, but he still couldn't tell heads from butts. After all the kissing, he passed out on the cat bed. The cats had nowhere to sleep, so they curled up on his face. The next morning, his face was covered in cat fur, and he had no memory of what happened. Meanwhile, the cats were seriously considering getting a new owner. Not long after, this guy bought a fake tongue to help groom the cat's fur. He wants to see how his cat will react. At first, the cat hates it because the owner keeps licking its face. It feels really uncomfortable. So, the owner tries a different spot. He starts licking the cat's head. At first, the cat feels so relaxed, but soon, it starts to cry because the licking reminds it of its late mother. From then on, the cat sees the owner as its mom. It keeps sticking to him. It wants to be held. It wants him to lick its fur again. The owner feels heartbroken, so he always gives in. But every time they play, his body gets covered in cat hair. So, he buys a pet vacuum to clean the loose fur off the cat. Now, he can lick the cat all he wants. But the other cats are totally confused. They just can't understand why their owner has turned into a mom.